Well, our focus goes immediately to what's coming up in the next couple of days here and get the roster right. We got some decisions to make. We were able to get guys in situations where we get to watch them in one last time and give them a shot to do something special to help them make the team or show that they belonged. And there were some plays tonight. Some things happened that were kind of fun to see. Um, the game went because of the big plays and really some costly penalties at crucial times. But they really made some big plays in the passing game that we haven't seen through preseason much at all. And so that really changed things for us. But really, like I said, everything's about looking forward, making these roster decisions and figuring it on out and putting it together. We'll be competing like crazy in the next couple of days, and that's how we know how to do it. So it does. I'm excited about getting to our 53, and we really like the guys that we have and the guys that can play for us in spots. We've got roles for guys to take over. We've got a real clear thought about what we're doing with a lot of stuff, and that's it's really exciting that we're to that point now, and that we really have not been able to show you. We have not been able to put it out in front, but we know what we're doing with this, and we're excited about it, and looking forward to getting it all pared down and away we go. I do want to make a point about a couple guys. I thought. I don't know if you recognize what Joey Hunt did tonight. Joey Hunt played center, and he played guard, and he played tackle, and was out there making calls and directing traffic and all that. He did a great job tonight to fill in when we needed him. He's just a terrific ball player for us and has been around, and a guy we really like everything about the guy. And I thought Malik Turner did a great job tonight. We take away the big play that he has in the corner of the end zone, an extraordinary throw and catch from Alex to Malik. Those were fantastic plays by both those guys. But I just thought he showed up and did a nice job. And Calitro showed up again. Griff showed up with 8 tackles in the first half, which was great. We really wanted to see him be comfortable and fit into the scheme. Those were things that we needed to see. We got a good look at Mo Alexander playing Will linebacker tonight and for the first time. And so we picked up, I think, a lot of information, and we'll go to work with it and get these things squared away next couple days.
With Mo showing that, how much can that help you guys if KJ's not back?
Well, it does help us. He's got a lot of flexibility, that he can play will and safety, and he really seemed to take to it and right off the bat, and he looked comfortable, and he made a couple hits and looked good in coverage. So that's a really good start. I need to see the film to really detect kind of what there is to uncover there, but he did a good job for us, and I'm fired up to see that.
How's Shaquem doing with the nuances, the communication, the things that are beyond?
He's really doing well. He just had a dip in week 2. He kind of got maybe a little bit overwhelmed with the first week. He had a big bunch of tackles. He had 9 tackles in the first game, and he came back and just wasn't on it. He tried too hard in week 2, and then he settled into week 3, and it looked like he did again. Again, I need to see the film, but it's a really important position for us, obviously, right now with KJ, not ready for us yet. So I'm anxious to see how he did.
What do you think of Mike Davis in the first half?
I just think Mike Davis is good. He's a good player. He plays with great intensity. Got good, good suddenness always. He comes through. He's tough. Helps us on teams. He's a nice football player, and we all think a lot of him.
Both quarterbacks seem to make a lot of big plays for their switch.
Yeah, they did. They did all right. I was really happy for Austin. Get a chance to start the game and all that. Come through, put together a nice performance, and had the touchdown call back, unfortunately. But good job of him. And Alex came in and did some nice stuff too. So it was a good job. Both those guys, with the news that comes in from the weekend, into the weekend, going into Thursday, they both competed really beautifully and showed well.
We've gotten pretty used to what your defenses look like the last few years. Some pretty significant changes. How is this year's defense? How do you think you guys will be different than you've been in the past?
Well, Danny, the thing that's going to be different is just the experience on the back end. Up front, we've got a really good combination of guys that we can play with and move around and utilize. They've got special talents. We're strong and we're big, and the guys are really on it scheme-wise. With Bobby directing traffic and Barkevius doing his thing on the edge, and now as we introduce Griff into it, those guys are solid now. So it's going to go. The emphasis really would go back to watching what's going on in the deep end and how much can we hold up back there and play good football. You're not seeing our guys, so we have to wait it out a little bit. But Shaq has done a great job. He's been all over it. Both Dante and Trey have played really good on the other side. So we know that Justin Coleman's a good nickel. We're in good shape there. So and Bradley McDougal we know is a solid guy that we haven't played very much at all. So it's really that other safety spot, and we'll see how that shapes up. But other than that, I think we're going to be very much in the same format, same style. Our expectations are the same. We played the running game really well the last couple of weeks. They couldn't run the ball tonight until the end of it. Just scheme-wise, we feel like we're confident in what we can do there. And so it starts there. That staying on top, and then all work together to do all the stuff in the middle is how we do this. And so I think it's going to be very similar.
How did Dante Johnson help his cause in the past few weeks?
Well, he missed some time, but he's been very disciplined. Go back to remembering that he started 16 games last year, so that's a lot of starts for us, in comparison to some of the other guys that are competing for the spot there. Without Maxey having a chance to compete for it, he's been hurt all camp. Dante did really well. He was very clean, very sharp, technique-wise. He's bought into the system and all that, and so I think he's right in the middle of being ready to start the game for us next week.
I expected Amar Darbo to play. Something happened?
We almost had him cleared to play, and they just felt like it was better to not do it one more time, so we held him out.
Is Jermaine Ifedi okay, or?
He did turn his ankle. I don't know how serious it is, but he did turn his ankle some. We'll have to see how that goes.
And Isaiah Battle, what happened to him?
He's been sick during the week, and it just caught up with him, and he was exhausted.
Is George Fant not an option right now at right tackle?
I'm anxious to see how George did. George played quite a bit tonight, and it seemed like I think he did play enough plays to show us. He's been battling. He's strong. He's quick. He knows the system. He understands what's going on. About 10 days ago, he really started to look like he had nothing with the injury at all. He had come out of it, and he was able to compete and battle and play hard and physical, run off the ball and all that kind of stuff. So he's competing. He's ready to compete for playing time, and it's been good for Jermaine to just know that somebody's breathing down his neck, and Jermaine's done a nice job. Made it. I don't think he had a penalty tonight. Did he? No, yeah. So that's a good preseason for him. It's much improved over what was going on a year ago. So he's worked really hard to clean up his game, and it's helped him. So, but Georgie's right there battling with him. So we'll see what happens.
Sweezy didn't play, or?
Yeah, we just not enough practice time to put him in. He's ready to go next week, and he's ready to play.
What did you think of special teams tonight?
I think the competitive situation for Seabass got him a little bit. I think he wanted to do so well. He overtried a little bit, tried to kick the ball. Look at his first kickoff. He chili dips it. He didn't do that. He didn't hit his extra point right either. So I just think it just. I think all of the history and the background, he wanted to do so well that he probably overtried a little bit. Other than that, I don't think we hit the ball as well with Michael, as clean as we'd like to, but all in all, it didn't hurt us. I take a lot of responsibility by going for the fourth downs in midfield and all that. Those were just preseason fourth game, wanting to get it done. We would kick the ball deep and put them in a hole in normal situations, but because it was the last preseason game, I didn't give a hoot, so I went for it. But it didn't work out very well, so coach didn't do very well tonight. But normally we would kick that ball deep, and we'd be in good field position, and it would have made it a lot different for us.
Is Fetty's ankle a concern, or is it minor?
I don't know that yet. I don't know. It wasn't bad. I saw him walk out of there. He was okay getting out. So, but he's going to need the long week, I would think.
Now that you've seen KJ, any different on his prognosis?
He's very, very positive about it. Feels good, and really we're keeping with the time frame. He's going to take a shot at a couple weeks from now. So we'll see how that goes.
We've done Delano Hill in the preseason.
Delano improved throughout the preseason. I don't know about tonight. I know he missed a big tackle out there, but he really showed the comfort with the system and started to really play loose and free and made some really nice hits the last couple of weeks. I really can't give you a thought about it tonight, but he has really helped himself and improved. He's been a really good special teams player. We've always seen him as a really good running and hitting player, and then we just wanted to see him acclimate to the scheme where he could really free up and start making plays, and he started to show that. Again, I can't give you an assessment tonight.
You mentioned the excited Pete right away about the roster and getting your roster set. At the same point, how hard are these next 2 days for you?
No, this is the worst of the worst now. You know, I've spent most of the time last night talking to these guys about how grateful we were for how they've worked and the effort that they brought and the mentality. You know, you guys have asked, well, what's going on in the locker room? These guys have been awesome. I mean, all through the offseason, from the time we got back in April, these guys have set their sights on going after these opportunities and to try to see where they can make their spots. And they've been extraordinary, and it's been a blast to coach these guys. And so the entire offseason, we maxed that out. Camp, everything worked great. And so I wish we would won a couple games to have a little more fun in the locker room. But other than that, these guys really, they bust their ass the whole time. And I was really fired up to be with them. And so now that we have to separate from some guys and transition here, you know, it's really hard. This is a big day for guys next couple of days, you know, and it is for the coaches as well. It's much more difficult for the players, but we'll figure it out. And what's always happened for us is a lot of guys that come through here that have made an impression, they come back to us in time. And we see a lot of guys and throughout the depth chart that could do that and could be available to us. So we think we've really nurtured some good guys to help us as we need guys to call in to fill the roster as we go through the season.
Stringfellow, what kind of preseason whole training camp did he have for you?
He made great impressions. He's a really good ball player. You know, he's got great catching range, and he's physical and tough, and it was a great, you know, win and catch to go 80 tonight. It was a beautiful play, great throw too. But that's not a surprise to any of us because he has really competed really well.
What does the next 36 hours or so look like for you and your staff?
Well, it's really now it comes down to John and I doing a lot of the work. We've been done a lot of preliminary work to get to this point. We have decisions that we have to call on. And there's certain things we have to do. The coaches are all available through the next couple of days for work and going back and making evaluations that we need. We'll be looking at players around the league as well. So everybody's kind of on call to be available to make whatever decisions we need to make. But it's really a lot of work from John and I to put this thing together, and everybody's really contributed to this point. This game is important, and so we don't want to be impatient about making decisions. We're going to get through the film first and make sure we've seen everything that we need to see.
How do you evaluate what Alex and Austin did today to what maybe Huntley could bring to this offense?
Well, I would say everything counts, everything counts. And, I'm really excited about Brett coming in. He's already here. He's ready to go to work. He worked all day today trying to get caught up and get started. And we need to see what happens with the next spot as well. We really are counting on him to be on the team with us, and we got to see what we do with the next spot. We'll find that out in time.
See someone like Bobby Wagner, some of these veterans who are not playing in this game, how invested they are in it, and excited for the other guys. Just what does that kind of take?
Yeah, I'm really glad you noticed that because that's part of the leadership of this squad. I feel a little different about the direction of it. It just feels like the voices that are speaking now there's an investment that's really obvious from them to the other guys on the club. I think that's what I was enjoying all throughout the offseason. Bobby and Dwayne and all those guys, they were doing a great job. Russell, they're up and down the sidelines the whole night working with guys and talking about the situations, and they're just into it and supporting them, and that's exactly the way we want to be. I didn't want these guys, I don't want to see guys taking their jerseys off and their uniforms off and blowing off the rest of the game. I want them to be in there and help their guys finish. They believe in that as well, and that's what they did, and I think that's what you saw.
Fullback is a tough position to bring in your roster, but Mike Solari's been someone who always is a fullback. How is that battle for that specific position going so far?
Well, I'm anxious to see the film. We haven't seen Trey a whole lot this last few weeks, but Trey's been a really valuable player for us. He really understands the system, and he's a very good special teams player. We just wanted to get him back on the field for a couple snaps tonight. And then Daniel Marks, who came to us, kid that came out of Stanford, I'm anxious to see what he looked like. He looked like he understood the position during the week. So, we've used Nick in the backfield a little bit at times. And so that position is really clear in my mind because I know what Trey can do. And, but I can't wait to see the film, see what Daniel looked like, just because we got to be open to the competitiveness of it.
Anything else? Not sure if quick thing. Why wasn't Amara Darbo out there?
The docs just said at the last, and really, we were thinking that he'd have a chance. He looked pretty good in pregame. They just thought it wasn't worth the risk because he's just barely getting back. And unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to go. We feel like we really know him as a player. And so it wasn't like it was, didn't give him a chance to compete against the other guys. But really, he's really shown us that he's a really good ball player and he's smart and he's a special teams guy. And we know that about him. So it sounded like from the docs that it was just best to just not expose him one more time because we think he's healthy now. We finally got him through it. So we'll see if we can keep him around here.
Thank you.
Okay.